Country boy. I get up before the rooster, put on my camo, load up my bow and my rifle and stock the ammo. I'm a bullet with the bullet, but I'm lethal with the arrow. Always down for the hunt, dove, turkey, and big bucks. Hit the woods and get fitted up. Mossy oak all across my fit, don't be surprised, we do this too. I be up before the sun with my 30-06. Hard body on, I ain't worried about the kick. Yeah, we do this too.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of We Do This Too Outdoors. I'm your host, Courtney Williamson. I've got a very special guest today, Mr. Devin White of Slam Outdoors, man. Me and him got connected through a buddy of mine, so a mutual friend of ours, actually, man. And I'm really excited about this one, man. He is a African-American hunter, just like myself, man. And he's been doing some big things, man. So, Devin, you want to introduce yourself, bro?
Yes, sir. First of all, thank you for having me on the show today. Me and my organization, the Slam Outdoors, greatly appreciate it. You know, like I said, we're hoping to bring you out one day and get you some in a duck hunt and stuff like that. That's where primarily we focus on is waterfowl hunting. But, you know, aside from that, I do all different types of hunting too as well, such as deer and turkey and stuff like that. So, again, my name is Devin White. I'm 31 years old. I started hunting when I really didn't started hardcore hunting until I moved to Kentucky, and that was maybe 6 years ago. So I'm still pretty new to it as well. But yeah, so again, man, thank you, Courtney, for having me on the show, and being able to meet with you was a blessing. And I said through our mutual buddy Dave, you know, he was one of your basketball players, right? I guess, or
yeah, one of my teammates, man. Yeah. I knew him as David Crawford back then.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he changed his last name to Whitlock. To shout out to his mom and everything, Miss Teresa and everything. So. Yeah, man, we've been rocking probably since middle school, man. And he's like, man, you've got to meet this dude, Devin. Like he is you, except he's about 200 pounds smaller than you, and he's got dreads, you know. So it's a blessing, man, to get you finally on here. I know we've been trying to do this lately, but I've been working like crazy and just everything like that. So I'm glad to get you on. So but yeah, man, tell everybody how you got to Kentucky, man. I kind of know the story, but I kind of want you to deep dive into this real quick, man. How'd you end up in Kentucky, bro?
Well, God, I gotta tell the rated version. No, I'm just kidding.
G-rated.
Okay, all right. E for everyone. Okay. So I met a girl, and I won't say her name or disclose the information like that, but I met a girl, and we actually met in Texas, and she acted like she was all cool and everything, you know. And then she's like, all right, well, you know, she likes me, I like her. And so I was like, well, I mean, she already had a house, she was established, she had a decent job. So I was like, well, why not? Why not Kentucky? You know, I've been in Texas my whole life. I've never really ventured out and stuff other than like vacations and stuff like that. But I was like, let's give it a shot, you know. So I moved up here, packed up all my stuff. I have a 98 Dodge Ram. I still have that. I was either saving up to buy or to fix my 86 300 ZX. We put a turbo on it. I was getting ready to make a build. It's going to be like, I think it was like a 3.4 stroker or something like that. It's going to be nice. And I was like, well, I followed my heart and love instead of following my brain and building a car. So I bought a 16-foot trailer. We loaded everything that I had on that trailer and then drove it to Kentucky. And we were together for about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years, and we ended up breaking up and stuff. And so I moved out, and I didn't really have a place to move to because I didn't know nobody down here, you know. And where I'm at in Kentucky, there's not a lot of African Americans down here. So I was really, you know, by myself. You know, there are some people that I kind of trusted and stuff like that, but I still wasn't like rocking with everybody just yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, as African Americans, you kind of got to be careful wherever you go, especially at nighttime. You know, you just gotta be on your P's and Q's, you know.
Yeah, for sure. I was not to cut you off, but I was telling a buddy about that at work today, man. I don't know if you've ever seen it or have ever heard about it. So my grandmother and myself are real big historians.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually a green book that African Americans used to have to carry around with them from state to state. Showing them like where they could go and where they couldn't go. in the States. I think it was called like the Negro Travel Guide or something like that. But a lot of people, they don't really know about that. But, you go to Tennessee, it tells you where you could stay, Kentucky, Alabama, Georgia, places like that. So yeah, I totally agree with you with the statement you just made. You kind of got to be on your P's and Q's of where you go, even now. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
But yeah, man, go ahead, continue.
Yeah, I didn't know about that, man. That's crazy. I mean, it don't surprise me, but it's just crazy that they had something like that, But so I moved out and I moved into her. It's gonna sound bad, but it wasn't like that. I moved into her so-called best friend's house, and her best friend had a fiance, so they were engaged and everything else. I just didn't have nowhere else to go, so I moved in with them, and I from all my stuff that I had in a 16-foot trailer, I moved into like an 8x8 room, and everything that I couldn't fit inside the room that was like my personal clothing and stuff like that, I basically, because I had nowhere to store that. I didn't know about storage. I mean, I knew about storage unit, but I didn't think about I'd have the money to pay for all that stuff. So basically, I just got a whole bunch of tarps, laid everything out on the tarps, covered it up, and then I just waited till spring, so I was able to go outside and organize stuff. And I ended up losing a lot of stuff. I lost pretty much all of my clothes, all of my knickknacks from Texas, like, a lot of my stuff. I mean, just imagine having containers full of stuff, all your personal belongings. I think I was like in my 20s still, so like 25 or so. All the things that you value dear to your life, that you had brought from Texas with you, is now just trash, So
Right.
it really took a toll on me. But, it also taught me that, material things in life are things that you can replace, you know what I'm saying? So as long as you got blood pumping through your vein, you breathing oxygen, it's a day to be grateful and be thankful for what God's given you. I think that's why I really got connected into hunting and stuff too, because, for me, it's a way to get away from everything. It's a way to get away from, the job. It's a way to get away from the stresses of life. You're just out there with peace and with God. And so,
Amen.
without any expectations. I mean, I don't know about you, but for me, my deer hunting is like, man, I may have this huge buck on camera the first couple weeks and I never see him again. So I don't even get excited anymore for deer. But
man, it's been like that for me this year, man. I was telling my best friend that, like, after I went duck hunting last year, man, like I still get excited to go deer hunting, like, like normal, man. But like lately, like my whole like energy feels like it's been shifted to where I'm more excited for duck hunting than I am deer hunting now, man. Like, and I'm just like, what in the world has happened to me? Because usually, I mean, everybody knows, like around here, all my friends, like, y'all, deer season comes, Courtney's gonna get after it, and I've still been after it quite a bit. I've been seeing, some good deer and stuff. I've been seeing a shooter buck. He's just been too far for me to shoot with my bow, but it's just like, I still get that excitement. But when I get home, it's like, man, I can't wait for duck season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I think the thing is too, like for deer season, you're planning for so long to get your hopes up, and then nothing happens.
Right.
So like if you put out salt blocks, like for me, luckily this year I hunted my girlfriend's grandmother's, and she only has like 7 acres or so, and it wasn't bad to go over there and carry a 50-pound bag of corn, 2 or 3 trips down the woods when you're only going, maybe 200, 300 feet yards or something like that. It ain't too bad, right. But luckily now I got a little lawnmower. I can drive down the woods and stuff like that. Every little bit helps,
Right.
But I remember when I had made a food plot, man, and this story just drives me crazy. So I made a food plot, and I had bought a tiller for a weed eater. Okay. So, I mean, the thing's only, the till's only this big, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
blade.
Yeah.
I'm out there doing a 50 by 50 plot, man, with the weed eater, man. I'm talking about hours, man, just sweating it out. And, I planted my seeds and everything when I got done and stuff like that, man. And it was cool, because I'm thinking, all right, this is it. I know I'm going to have, bucks coming in. I'm going to have does coming in. I'm going to have, turkeys, everything else is going to be great this year, and then, of course, everything happens, the seeds didn't sprout, or in my case, the neighbor's cow got out and ate, majority of my food plot, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
so
yeah.
It's just stuff like that as compared to going duck hunting where, you don't know for sure if you're going to see anything, But if you do, in Kentucky, what I say is that what my buddy says, if we see a duck, it's a great day. It's a good day. If we kill a duck, it's a great day, because I know we're not in the flyway. Like if we were in Kansas or we were in South Dakota or North Dakota, stuff like that. What's the other one? Arkansas,
Arkansas, yeah.
We're not expected to see this many ducks, but if we do, good. If we don't, hey, we got a chance to hang out together, have fun, whatever else, laugh at the new guy that fell into the water when he had his waders on, stuff like that. Just laugh and get along.
Right.
So for me, it's that camaraderie that you get to build whenever you're doing duck hunting as compared to deer hunting. When you're deer hunting, you can't talk really. You gotta be quiet and whisper and stuff like that. But while you're duck hunting, you're sitting out there next to somebody in a layout blind and talking trash to them, and you remember that one time you missed that duck that came in, man, just camaraderie like that, man. I think that's why I really enjoy it more than just deer hunting, so
that's for sure. I think a lot of people, they ask me, they want to get into hunting and they're like, man, what should I do first? I try to steer them away from deer hunting because you could be sitting for 10 minutes, you might be sitting all day, you might be sitting for 2 hours, there's no real excitement for that person, trying to get into it. So I try to, get them into dove hunting or rabbit hunting or, or duck hunting, something like that they're, you can talk, you can kind of shoot the shit with everybody, you're active and, you're wasting some shells, especially dove hunting, man, as fast as them things come in,
Right. Yeah.
So I try to steer them that way, man. And it's always, it's always something like, take me out, I'd love to go, but every time that I'm free and like, hey man, I'm going this weekend, it's like, oh man, I can't go. It's just always seems like they've always got some excuse. And I'm just like, man, I'm trying to get you out of here, but it don't seem like you're as motivated as I am, and maybe they will be, in the future, that's my goal. But, I've given them several dates and they're just like, man, I can't go, I can't do this, but when I'm going, I'm gone, so if you come with me, you better come on. So
right. And I'll tell you this, we don't have that problem duck hunting. If you tell somebody you're gonna go kill some ducks, that person will be at your house at 3:00 when you leave.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like especially when you find ducks, because like I said, again, ducks are so much harder to find. Like doves, like you said, doves come in a dime a dozen. They're here, they're but when you can call, especially geese, we got to take you on a goose hunt.
I've never been goose hunting. It's on my bucket list.
Dude, we put the beating on this on early season. I think we killed. I know my group, we at least killed 25 or 30 for opening season for goose. And we had a 3-man limit the first time we went out. Man, it was fantastic. You were allowed to kill 5 in the early season. You're allowed to kill 3 in late season and stuff like that too. So. But yeah, man,
we're gonna have to go, man.
I'm telling you, man. I'm hoping. Pray for me that this property that I hunted on, I did some management on it this year and did some food plots and stuff on it. Hopefully, this person who owns it doesn't sell it. He's been thinking about leasing it out and stuff like that. I remember the first time I actually got the chance to kill a duck on it or harvest a duck on it. I was sitting there. I was talking to my buddy. I was doing a Facebook video message to him. We're talking about coyote hunting. This place I was telling you about. And I think I found the den, and I look up and I go, holy crap. I had 15 mallards over top of me like that. And I'm just like, and I couldn't do anything because if I move, I'm sitting up. If I move, then, they're going to see me. So they're probably 75 feet up right now. And they're just kind of like, kind of cuffing in and stuff like that.
Right.
So like, as soon as they picked the landing gear and went around me, getting a circle around and land, I just kind of leaned back and grabbed my shotgun, So I'm just like, okay, if they come around again, I'm going to give it to them,
Right.
And so there was no point in calling. They were already committed. So I just sat there. And then I had a hen and a drake land. And I'm one of the most like, not the fact that I don't trust my shooting, but if I can get the edge on them. So I'm sitting there, I'm moving my shotgun, barely moving my shotgun. And they're probably about 20 yards away from me, not very far at all. And I'm just sliding my gun over. So when I pop up, I won't have to pop up and swing over. So I get it about almost to where the hen is. And so she starts acting finicky and takes off. And I'm like, I'd rather have a pair if I could, but most people don't like when you shoot hens. I'm telling you what, if a duck comes in, I don't care if it's a hen or a drake, it's getting shot. They taste the
Thanks.
same. I tell people the same with bucks. It's like or with does. It doesn't make a difference. You got to have both of them at one point to mate. They can't change their identity. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So the hen flew off, man. That Drake, he popped up, and I was like, boom, watered him up and everything, man. And I'm so bad because I'm like, if I tell myself I leave at 10:30, whatever it is, whether it's 5 o'clock and I'm leaving, I'll leave an hour early. And as soon as I get down from the stand, I'll scare something off, or ducks will come back around, man. So, but yeah, man, like I said, we'll definitely try to take you out and stuff. I know you had talked about too becoming a certified hunter safety instructor, and that's what I do too. And I really do enjoy that. I actually had my first class about 2 weeks ago, I think it's what it was, and we had 30 people show up, and it was a blast, man. And to have them see, again, a person of color out there teaching about hunting and fishing, I'm sure I've made impacts on them to be like, or maybe their granddad was telling them, something about African Americans and stuff that isn't true. So for them to see me out there teaching the class and stuff like that to them, I'm sure like little moments like that, man, they last forever,
For sure.
So,
yeah, that's definitely something that goes along with my brand, man. I'd like to get into that just for them basically to see somebody of color that looks like them if they are out there, and
right.
I think it makes them feel more at home and just like,
right.
wow, like there's more of us that do this, so
Right.
yeah, that's dope, man. But tell me some more about the Slam Outdoors, man. How did you get started with that? And tell me some future goals for you all.
Well, I got my buddy Jonah Pearl is the one that actually created it. He lives in Clarkson, Kentucky, and his best friend Logan Fulkerson was part of the group. And then I met up with Jonah. I actually worked with Jonah. It's funny how me and Jonah met. It's kind of one of those things where it's like you friends with him now. So, but I was working with Jonah, and he said some things to me that didn't sit well with me. Let's put it like that.
Right.
And we, he was trying to see because he was taught differently. He was one of those people that were taught differently. That hey, see somebody that looks like this. You kind of got to be careful.
Yeah,
And so
right.
I can't necessarily blame him because of how somebody taught him how to be. But I'm glad that he was able to not believe what somebody taught him, because now he's like my best friend. I call him right now and say, hey man, I need you to come help me. Can you do it? He'll be over. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I don't knock him for that, because he did change his ways, but it was pretty funny when I first told him what my response was, but I'm gonna keep it PG. So but like I said, he's like my best friend now. He's like my brother. But his whole movement behind this is to bring people to waterfowl hunting. I think that waterfowl hunting was one of the things that we need to conserve as far as hunting goes and stuff like that. Not many people really getting into it as compared to deer hunting, and I think the more people that we have hunting in general, the more that we have to fight against the people who don't like the 2A movement, you know what I'm saying? So the anti-gun people and stuff like that, and so like in the state of Illinois, for example, my semi-automatic shotgun that I have is banned there.
Right.
Which is crazy, like I'm gonna be going around the city somewhere with the automatic 30-inch, 12-gauge shotgun in the street, So, but that's been his big movement, man, is to get people connected to waterfowl hunting and bird hunting. We do turkey, we do dove, we even did some grouse in Minnesota and stuff like that, and that was pretty cool. You ever been grouse hunting before?
I haven't, man. I got a buddy in South Dakota, man. Shout out to the dreaded Archer, man. He's been trying to get me to come up there because I'd love to do that. So,
my bad, bro. Sorry, my spam calling me, dude. Sorry about that.
It's all good. But yeah, I've been wanting to hook up with him, man, and head up to South Dakota and hunt some grouse with him, man. But no, that's on my bucket list too, man. So,
dude, it's crazy, man. You'll be walking through the woods and then that thing just take off, scare the crap out of you.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like pheasant hunting. So,
yeah.
But we try to take veterans out. We try to take first responders, EMS. We took firefighters out maybe about 3 weeks ago for dove season and stuff like that. We took them out and everything, and they had a blast. So, really about giving back. I know one of the things that he wants to do, hopefully soon, is to have our own store, our own storefront. So of course selling our brand. selling other people's brands like, Sitka, and having their own like waterfowl shop,
Right.
or bird shop, so to speak, So, and I told him, I said, man, if that's your dream, that's your desire, man, we'll be here to help you out, of course, our YouTube channel and stuff like that, just to educate people. I think our very first video we ever did was teaching people how to clean their ducks. Just the simple things, about hunting and stuff. People think you just grab your decoys, throw them out in the water, pull them back in. Your duck decoys get filthy, man. I know for me, when I went down to Texas and stuff like that, and I made a mistake, I didn't clean mine off. So I had salt water on my decoys. It looked crusty. But, I cleaned them off and everything. But those little bit of a difference when the duck come in, if they see something that don't look right on the duck, if it's got mud on his forehead, you ever seen a duck with mud on his face? So little stuff like that make a big difference. And so we want to try to give them the information as simplified as possible, so that anybody who wants to get in the duck hunting can go to Academy and get, half a dozen or a dozen mallard decoys and a call and go out there and try to harvest a duck. We want to give them all the tools and tips to be able to do that, and we got people in our group who are, I would say, competition callers, and we got people like myself who can kind of call them in, but probably need to be quiet whenever the ducks come in,
Yeah, that's me, man. I got a call in my truck right now. I'll be driving to work, trying to get good, man. But that feeder call is a beast, man. It's hard to.
Yeah.
I don't see how y'all do it.
The feeder, oh man, that's the easy one, man. If you get what I do, I don't know if I have my calls in here or not, but how I teach people is that, mimic a V8 engine, like a drag strip, right? So it goes, vroom, dun, 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 and that's all you got to do. And when you do that into the call, it's similar. Can I get my call real quick? I'll show you.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, guys, we're about to give y'all some live demonstrations of how Mr. Devin here uses his calls, man. I've been trying to do it for a while now, so we're gonna get some live demonstrations.
So these right here are some of my old antique calls I've gotten over my years of hunting. This is a Night in Hell's call. This one's pretty old, and then I got this one. I just want to show you guys how cool this one is. This one is I think it's a 1956, I believe. This is really old. I probably shouldn't even take it out. But
oh wow.
Yeah, it's ancient, man. It's really cool. It is Woman's Call.
Wow, where'd you find that?
Facebook Marketplace, man.
Really? Wow.
So whenever I get my man cave and stuff like that, I'll be able to hang this stuff up and everything in there. But so I'll show you. So like, talking about the engine sound, right? So the so again, just that so in the back of the call.
Gotcha.
So,
and when's the best time to use the feeder call? You would say?
So again, I'm still pretty new to duck hunting. I've only been hunting for 2 years now. I guess it'd be my third year. I like to do the feeder whenever I can see the ducks. So I'll do just a basic, feeder and then a basic quack. So to be like, if I see ducks working, whatever, I'm not gonna do obviously the hell call and be. I'll do dig 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 blam blam, and then if we have a group of people, if I'm hunting by myself, I'll have them do the Drake whistle, the Drake call, Drake whistle, and it's just that weep weep. So we'll just do, like as if the ducks don't see them working in yet. You know what I'm saying? Because we want these ducks to come in and be like, hey, you guys don't see me. I'm up here talking to you guys. I'm eating whatever. I'm like, nope, the food is so good down here. We're having a good time. You guys should just come on in. So
yeah, I just for everybody that doesn't know, I just found this out last year. So the hen is the one that actually quacks.
Yep.
The drake, which is the male, actually does the whistle.
Right.
And I always thought it was vice versa. But my buddy's like, no, man. He's like, the hen is the one that quacks. And he's like, the one when you hear that, that whistle, he's like, that's the drake, that's the male. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that. So it's just a FYI for everybody out there that is listening and wanting to possibly get into duck hunting. So but yeah, man, tell me some more about somebody that's never been duck hunting before. Like, what kind of gear do they need? And just run it down. What kind of gear do you use from the shotgun to the waders, man?
So I will say this, and I'm sure everybody who duck hunt will say this too. Duck hunting is probably one of the most expensive sports to get into.
Yep.
And the reason that is because it does require a lot of stuff. Most time people who do hunt as it is, they normally have a shotgun or access to a shotgun, so that's not really the big issue. However, if you have and you can use a pump, you can use a single shot, preferably a semi-automatic would be the best thing, or a pump. But I've heard people shooting ducks with a single shot. Again, use what you have. So I have a Stoker M3500 edition. It's Snow Goose. It's solid white. People always make fun of me because I have a solid white shotgun, but I got that one at a great deal. It is solid white. People say, well, can the ducks see it? Well, I'm sure they can, but most of the time they're not going to see it until it's too late. I'm not going to be out there just waving my shotgun up and down saying, look, ducks, I got a solid white shotgun,
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah, come on and land, But if you really think about it, though, how often do you see white in nature? And if it's snowing on the ground, easy. I lay my shotgun right on the open, right on my layout blind, leave it right out there, and that's when you mostly hunt ducks, when it's kind of cold, when it's snowing and stuff too. And then also another tree that one of my favorite trees is a sycamore tree. The sycamore has white bark on it. So, again, if I lean my tree, my Stoker against a tree, are they going to be able to tell a difference? If it doesn't move, it doesn't move, and I think mostly for ducks, it's about motion. It's about movement. So if you're in the blind and you're doing this, they're going to see that. They're going to be like, something's not right, But if as long as you're not moving the shotgun around and and everything else, you should be fine. So that's what I use. I do like the 3.5 inches of shot shells. They have a little bit more kick. You can put more shot in them as well. But you don't have to have that. Some people use 20 gauge. So use whatever you feel is best for you, whatever you like. And of course, a 12 gauge has more recoil as compared to 20 gauge. As far as
do you use? 2s, 3s, 4s?
It all depends on what I'm hunting. So, like, if I'm going for geese, I try to use either BBs or 2s. If I'm going for ducks, it depends on what kind of ducks and if I know the area. So, like, when I go to my wood duck hole, I try to use 5s because I know the ducks are close. So I don't want to have a 2-shot shooting at a duck, that's only this big, or a shot cell this big, So it all depends on what I'm hunting for and where I'm going at, But primarily for ducks, I like to use either a 4. My gun does pretty good with that. And of course, you have to use steel shot. You can't use lead.
Right. Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah, for those that don't know, you have to use steel shot, not lead shot.
And along with that, you have to make sure that your shotgun is able to shoot steel through the choke. So you probably shouldn't use your full turkey choke that's only rated for lead. There's a lot that goes into it whenever you start learning about waterfowl. So that's my shotgun. For my waders, I'm a big fan of Drake. I like Drake attire. All my other hunting buddies, most of my hunting buddies like Sitka. I just haven't been able to see myself spending $1,000 for a pair of waders, but they love them. I'm not gonna knock Sitka, So most people who are really, really into duck hunting and stuff like that and have that extra money to spend, they do like Sitka.
Yeah, that stuff's expensive, man. But everybody that I talk to, that's that's the way to go. But like I said, I'm a big dude, and most of that stuff 2 or 3X, man, it gets up there in thousands and thousands of dollars, and I'm like, oh Lord, I ain't ready for this yet.
Yeah. So your Sitka waders, just the base waders. There's no insulation in them at all. Just remember this, okay? There's no insulation in them at all. You just buy the waders. They're $1,000.
Oh Lord. So you
Okay.
got to get extra stuff to put in them.
Yes. So like your insulated bibs and everything, that's another $200-$300. So I mean, altogether, you're gonna spend, at least in my opinion, you're gonna spend at least $2,000, up to $2,000 just in your clothing. So it does get expensive very, very fast when you want to buy Sitka stuff. But like I said, they swear by it. They swear it keeps them warm. Me, I'm a comfortable guy. So I have electric socks. I have electric gloves. I got an electric jacket. Like I go out to be comfortable. I don't want to have a miserable hunt where I'm freezing cold and I can't feel my hands. They're all frozen. So I like to be comfortable. So I got electric socks. I got electric jacket. I got heated gloves and stuff like that. Like I said, I use Drake waders and stuff like that. I don't know what kind of pants I even have anymore. I just, really I just care about the waders and socks. And as long as I can keep my hands and my feet warm, I'm good. Like I said, I got my electric jacket, so I don't really worry about the cold that much. It's just mostly try not to get wet, primarily. So, but
that's what's up, man. That's cool. Well, do you own a boat, or does somebody else have a boat? Do y'all hunt flooded timber mostly, or do y'all hunt standing corn? Or
we're always looking for new places to hunt. This year we got lucky. We got permission to go hunt a private lake that's never really been hunted for waterfowl. We built I think it's the first time I actually called you when we were building that.
I remember. Yeah,
duck house out there.
Yeah.
So we got that all done. We got the doors on it. We got the roof all done, chicken wire on it, all the brush on it and stuff like that. But we're not going to be able to hunt that until late duck season because the owner of the property, he deer hunts for bow and for guns. So we can't hunt that until later on. I know early duck season should come in, late duck season should come in sometime around November. But again, that's hunting season for rifle. So we probably won't hunt that until maybe late November, December, after rifle season. But we do have a boat. We got kayaks. We normally, a lot of times that we hunt on public land. We have like a few private holes and stuff like that, but mostly it's public. We go to Barkley, one of our buddies, which I forgot to mention, his name is Hayden. He has a boat that we go out on Lake Barkley. We go diver hunting and stuff like that. And then for like normal puddle ducks and stuff, we normally hunt Nolan or Rough River and stuff, do the red line and everything. And it's not very hard to do. You guys just got to think, like I said, you can go to Academy, get you a duck bag, to hold your decoys, get 2 dozen decoys and, get the weights and everything attached to them, go out there, throw them in a V shape, to make like a landing strip. And I mean, hit your calls, practice and, you'll get lucky sometime and have some ducks come in. Like I said, if you see a duck, it's a good day. If you kill a duck, it's a great day. So, but we don't really do a lot of timber hunting because we don't really know where a lot of standing timber's at. We do, like I said, do a lot of public land hunting. So we went to, what was that? Peabody. I think we went to Peabody this year for early wood duck. Yeah. We killed 6 out of our group, I believe. So we almost had a 4-man limit or something like that, or 3-man limit. Excuse me. So, but I don't know if we got that on video or not, but our buddy Logan, his little brother got his first duck. So it was really cool to have him go out there and do that. So
that's awesome, man. Yeah. So what kind of flack have you gotten for being an African American duck hunter? Because there's not many out there. It seems like for people that don't know, or think they know, but there's a lot of us out there, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah. A lot of people don't think there's a lot, but there are a lot. Like 24/7 hunt, they're doing their thing with the duck hunting, man, and shout out to them. But other than them, man, you don't really see a lot of African Americans on TV. So when you tell people what you do, have you gotten any flack from people or like crazy looks? Because I can tell you, when I first started telling people, man, they're just like, man, we didn't know black people did this kind of thing with the archery and the hunting. I'm like, man, we're everywhere. You just don't see us on TV a lot. So yeah,
I mean, honestly, not much. and I say that I'm thankful because there's a guy in this community that I live in Grayson County. His name is Mike White, and he was a he is a stand-up guy. He's still alive, and since we have the same last name, people thought that we were related. So since they knew how good Mike treated people, they treated me with the same respect as Mike. So I really didn't have much of a problem. Now, if my name would have been something like Johnson or something different, I may have had a little bit more different scenario. But
Right.
such a situation like this where we have the same last name and such an amazing guy, to pave a way, having the same last name as me, it really helped me out. Now, of course, I do get the occasional like what are you doing here type vibes from some people sometimes, but maybe it's because of my hair, because of my skin color and stuff like that. But as soon as I open my mouth and talk about duck hunting, they see it's not just a facade. They see it's just not just, I'm trying to fit in with the so-called white crowd or whatever else. It's like, this is what we do. We don't let our color define who we are. We're not doing this to act white or doing this to be white. We're doing this because we love to do it.
Right.
So I guess if that answers your question.
Yeah, for sure. That definitely answers my question. Because, like I said, a lot of people, from our communities, it's like, man, you a sellout. Why are you doing this white boy stuff? You'll never be accepted or whatever. I'm like, I'm not doing this to try to fit in with that crowd. I'm doing this because this is what I love. And there might be some little kid out there wanting to get into it, but they don't see anybody that looks like them. So they're kind of hesitant about it. So I'm just here to break down some of these stereotypes, man, and break down some of these walls, man. And I know you guys are doing the same thing. So keep on chucking, man.
Right. I would love to be able to either go down to Louisville or something like that, or a impoverished area, and take minorities kids out hunting and stuff to show them that there's a different way, a different way that you can take out your anger, a different way that you could, if you want to go shoot something, at least do it legally. Let's go shoot a deer. Let's go shoot coyotes, something that really don't matter,
Right.
Let's go down to Kentucky Lake, and I'll let you kill every silver carp that comes up with a bow. You know what I'm saying? So that, and I guess that's another thing too, is that if we don't know how to de-stress ourselves in situations where we feel like we can't move, whether it's through a job, whether it's through, a relationship, whether it's just even ourselves, because sometimes we're our biggest critic, if we don't find that time to be able to distress, to let it all out, we're gonna explode,
Right.
So that's something that if you ever decide to do that, man, go down to Louisville or go down to Radcliffe and stuff like that, and say, hey, here's some waivers. We want to take your kid out that, maybe he was doing really bad in school, maybe, whatever the case is, and say, hey, look, man, I'm gonna take you out one time, and if you want to come back with me again, you got to make these changes. I want to see better grades. I want to see this. I want to see this, and say, hey, because I know as growing up as an African American, we saw three things in order to be successful. Either you were good at sports, you were good at singing, or you were good at dancing. That's all that we saw. And there's so much more to African Americans. But that's because we don't know our history. We don't know that we've already been doctors, we've been lawyers, we've been governors, we've been mayors, we've been all this stuff, but it doesn't get publicized. So. One thing, like I said, just to be able to be an image for somebody, and to go out there and let them see people who look like us doing great things in the community, man, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, for sure. That's a big thing for me, man. Like I said, I'd like to get into some of these inner cities and get some of these kids that are heading down the wrong path and kind of take them under my wing and, teach them, this is the way that I decompress. Maybe it'll work for you, and just teach them that way. Because like you said, man, if you don't find that way to decompress yourself, man, you're going to blow up. You're going to get mad. You're going to get angry. You've just got to learn, especially as African American men. We've got a target on our back as it is, and they want us to blow up. It seems like like that's how he is. We always knew that he was going to blow up. So that decompressing, would help out big time for some of these, at youth or at risk kids and at risk youth, stuff like that, man. So yeah, man, that would be yeah, that's definitely a dream of mine going, headed forward with this, man. So if any way I can help you out, you can help me out with that, man, and get that done, man. That'd be awesome, man.
Yeah, I'd love to, man. If we could figure out a way to do it and stuff, I'm sure there's grants and stuff out there. We'll end up playing with it and stuff and seeing what all we can do with it and stuff. I'm a part of a lot of organizations and stuff that would probably be willing to help out and either donate their time or their services to do so. I partner with, well, I'm a member of Kentucky Bow Fishing for Heroes. We're kind of at a standstill right now until we get things back up rolling again. But that was done primarily with veterans and stuff. But even for the children and stuff, man, we'd be willing to take some kids out bow fishing just to teach them about bow fishing and stuff, because, and I guess this goes against, as a fight back to the PETA people too, about they don't like us hunting and stuff. But there's so much more than just hunting, if we don't kill so many deer a year, there's going to be so many more car accidents and from people killing, getting killed or killing the deer, or even causing bodily harm on themselves from not being able to harvest a deer. And like for example, with snow goose, you know about snow goose hunting.
I've heard about people going, but I've never really dug deep into that, man. So
if you get a chance, and this is for all viewers too, if you get a chance, go look up snow goose hunting videos. There's thousands of them. I'd say even hundreds of thousands of them in some places. And literally the sky is just covered with these geese. And if we as hunters don't go out there and harvest these geese, they're gonna go fly around and pretty much like locusts and destroy our rice fields in Arkansas. Different types of wetlands and stuff like that, because there's so many of them. They're basically like locusts of the sky, and so they don't even have any limits on them. That's why you can use a gun like my snow goose that doesn't have a plug in it. If you go waterfowl hunting and you go buy a shotgun, you have, or any type of bird hunting, you have to only hold 3 shots. You have 2 in the tube, the shotgun tube, and then 1 in the chamber. You can't have any more than that. So as far as snow goose hunting, I think that gun holds either 10 or 12, but you don't have a limit. So, but that's just like I said for goose hunting, But even just for the deer hunting or the turkey hunting or a coyote hunting, you're doing nature a service by not letting one animal run or overpopulate the rest of them. So we as humans, even though people don't see it this way, we as hunters play a very important role in balancing out the ecosystem, but we also can be a hindrance too. If we don't follow these rules and regulations, we can endanger these animals. So, if you do kill a deer, make sure you tag it, or if you do go duck hunting, make sure you're just shooting your limit. That way, that the people, the biologists and stuff are able to give you these correct numbers to go harvest and stuff. So, as hunters, like I said, we play a huge role, a huge impact on that. Sorry to go off on that tangent, but I feel like I had to say that for people who don't know.
Oh, you're good, man. Yeah, for sure, man. I've never actually looked into the snow goose, but yeah, for now, I'm definitely about to do that as soon as we get off here, man. That's cool. So
you go snow goose hunting one time, it'll never be the same, man. It'll ruin you. It'd be like if you shoot a 12-point buck the first time you go out, you'd be like, you come back to Kentucky and if you see one duck, you'd be like,
for sure, man. But yeah, man. So I got probably one more question here to ask you, man. We'll get off here. I ask this to all my guests. So if you could hunt anywhere for anything, any animal on anywhere in the United States, in the world, or wherever, money's not an object. Where you going? What you hunting?
Gotta be Alaska. I gotta be Alaska. Yeah. I want to go. My dream is to go either moose hunting or elk hunting with a bow. And I couldn't imagine having a freaking 2,000-pound moose just walking through the woods, just oh gosh, man. And I'd be shaking that bow so bad, man. But yeah, man. That's what I'd do. I'd love to go to Alaska and go moose hunting and get within 20 yards of that humongous animal, man. So
that's awesome, man. Moose hunting. Got you. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So man, so This is Mr. Devin White, ladies and gentlemen. So you tell everybody how they can get a hold of you, man, on social media and everything. And I really hope our viewers have actually learned something today about duck hunting and what all we do and all you do and everything. So just let them know how they can get a hold of you, man.
Awesome. Well, my name is Devin White. You guys can follow me on Facebook as Devin Texas White. Devin Texas White. That's where I'm from. But I do have we do have a Facebook page called The Slam Outdoors, TSO, The Slam Outdoors. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, not Twitter, excuse me, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We don't have a Twitter yet. I don't think we're ever going to have a Twitter. It's too much social media. But get on there, check us out. Give us a like, subscribe, and hopefully we'll get you guys out with us a couple of times to go do some hunting and stuff like that. Or if not, be able to teach you how to do your own and take your own friends and family out. We definitely don't want the sport of waterfowl hunting to go away. Or any type of hunting, So if it involves hunting any type of animal and conservation, we're all on board for that. So.
For sure, man. Well, I'm blessed to have you on this podcast today, man. And hopefully we can do some hunting in the future, man. So yeah, you guys stay tuned and watch out for me and Devin, man. We're gonna be in the woods near you. We do this too.
Sir. Thank you, man, for having me. I appreciate it, Courtney. We'll see you.